Okay, this right here is how you will see me styling this green scarf, okay? This is Dragon Butterfly, and we won't talk nothing else about it. What's up guys, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're new, it's Sahara. So today's video is going to be an inspired look. It's inspired by a YouTuber by the name of Make Me Up Missa. She does amazing, incredible, dramatic look. It would not be my type of video without fake piercings, glitter, graphic liner, fake tattoos, and some neon green and some dragons. Neon green, dragon, black, blue, butterfly, fire scarf that I got from Pretty Little Thing. I actually did a video on it already. I was gonna put it on as a scarf, but yeah, no, not with my hair. This is a crop top, by the way, and like this halter neck. I already wore it in a video before. I'm not afraid to wear things more than once. This is from Shein, and I wore it on my birthday. It was that birthday video, which I will link it right here if you want to watch it. But again, I had to wear it again because, of course, neon green, dragon, this look, it went. These earrings are also from Shein, by the way. And I painted my nails black before I started this video. I will insert her picture right here so you can just get an idea of the type of look I'm going for. Changing the color up, of course, because I love green, and then love the look she did with the colors, but I still wanted to go with the green, you know. I will insert another YouTuber called her name is Tiffany Jones. She also does amazing looks. I know that she's been doing a lot more subtle type of looks, so she gives you the best of both worlds. I will tag both of them, link their stuff just in case, you know, you want to do a look like this or you like the double graphic look that Tiffany did. I don't think they consider themselves to be makeup artists, but they are, in my opinion, because the looks bomb. These sunglasses are from Shein as well. I had to get me a drink of this Gatorade because it is hot. It is 99 degrees out here right now. And this Gatorade is the zero kind. I don't know what they're doing getting rid of the sugar one. The sugar one tastes good. This is nasty. But it keeps me hydrated. So I'm going to start off by priming the eyelids with two different bases. The Juvia's Place base is in a shade number 1, but it's too light, and the P. Louise base is in a shade Rumor number 3, but it's a little too deep and peachy tone. So I just mixed both of them together to prime the eyelids, and it worked out pretty good. The Juvia's Place one is liquidy, and the P. Louise base one is creamier and thicker. For this winged out look, and because there's a lot of blending that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and apply some of my tape. I think this is Scotch tape, which we all know this is like the worst tape to apply on the skin. But I apply it on the back of my hand first, and that just gets rid of some of the stickiness. I do still have my e.l.f. Eye tapes, but sometimes those don't stick down all the way. Now we're going to be using the Morphe 25L palette and the brushes that go with that collection as well, because this is the Pride collection and this is the perfect time to use it. We're in Pride month right now, June, and I also have this Pride thing that goes on the back of your phone. I got it at the Dollar Tree, and I also got something else from the Dollar Tree that I'll try to insert if I remember it at the time, but it holds your like earphones and all of that stuff. It's so cool. I'm starting off with this brush from BH Cosmetics because it'll be a good angled blending brush, and then I'm going into that black eyeshadow first. All of these shades are going to be matte, by the way. None of them are shimmer until I get to the inner corner, but I'm going to be applying that as winged out liner. And I think I've mentioned this in a video before where I like going in with black eyeshadows first a lot of times, because any shade that you blend over it, it'll keep that shade true to color. I think it was a red eyeshadow I used, and I started with black and it kept the red true to color. It didn't go pink. So this is the perfect one to start off with, and also it's the one she started off with anyway. So yeah, that's it. It just works out. Depending on how much lid space you have and all of that, or if you have hooded eyelids, that depends on how high up you're going to go with the black, by the way. I just finished blending it up off camera. So then the next shade I'm going in with is this green one, and I'm applying that a little bit higher up, but still kind of on top of that black, but just blending it upwards. And I'm still blending it together with that same brush. And it's also going to make it a little bit deeper as well, which is perfect. I'm switching to this travel size color brush. It's like a flat fluffy type of brush, and I'm using this yellowy green shade. It's like a mustardy green, more green though. I think more yellow, more green. And I'm applying it on top of that green one I just applied. The last shade I'm going to be using is this yellow, and this is just going to make it a little bit brighter, but not too bright, because I think that this is more like a honey yellow. Maybe has a little bit, the slightest bit of an orange tone to it, but it's more yellow. And I'm just going to be applying that on the tippy top, and then I'll just go back off camera and just, you know, reinforce some of these shades, blend them together, blend them to the best of my ability. Now I'm going to be using the Morphe 25L Artistry brushes. The reason I didn't use these at the beginning is because these are for more detailed work, more precision work, and this next part that I'm moving on to is perfect for that. So I'm just blending out what is left of the primer. I didn't set the eyelid, so it is creasing a little bit. All of the shades that I have used for that winged out liner look, I'm going to be using the same shades to define this upper area. I don't know what this is called. It's definitely by the bridge of the nose. It's by the well, the connection from the nose to the brows. So I'm using this smaller, more defining brush, and I'm going to start off with that black, mostly lining the way I want it to look first. You definitely don't want to go in with too much black, because of course it can go down south real quick when you're using a black eyeshadow. So you just want to be a little bit more precise. Follow the guidelines of how my eyes are shaped. I forgot to show the types of brushes I'm using up close, but I'm just using this smaller defining brush. It is a little bit, just a tiny bit fluffier, maybe a little stiff as well. It's like, which one? Is it fluffy or is it stiff? You gotta pick one. This is a smaller, rounder brush, and this is going to help me blend that green right on top of the black, but of course going a little bit further out. We're kind of doing those same steps of blending it upwards. This next brush is a little bit fluffier, but it's still like one of those small rounding brushes, but this one is definitely fluffy. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that yellowy mustard green shade on top of the yellow one, and still blending it upwards as well. It's like, how many times could you say upwards? We're blending, we're blending. For the last shade, of course, we're using that yellow, and I'm using a fluffier brush. Now this is the fluffiest brush that's in this collection, and this is just going to be blended closer to the brows, because this yellow will definitely change up the whole look. When you start mixing these yellows in with these other shades, they just like kind of make it more of a neon color. I think my camera cut off of me when I was doing this part, but I took the e.l.f. concealer brush. It's a very, very small brush, and took the P. Louise base and just blended that back onto the that negative space right there to clean up that defining look that I just created. I'm going to take the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen in the shade 01 Deeper and create a liner just to fill in any gaps right in that area. And then I'm going to go back in with that black eyeshadow and blend it on the outer part, but not over the liner part towards the inner corner. And here's a little overview of all the blending brushes I've been using. I haven't used that many blending brushes in a long time. Oh, I just realized that I didn't do the cleanup method yet with the concealer brush and the P. Louise base. So now I'm gonna do it, where I just show you guys that I'm cleaning up that area that I defined. I was like, I knew something was wrong, because I know my camera cuts off on me a lot when I'm in the middle of a look. You can just go ahead and do this part of the eye look first, so then you can clean it up after and then start blending stuff on the lid. But I kind of do things my way. Child, what was that? I'll be doing like a sneeze and a cough together. It's my allergies acting up. Now I'm just mixing together the Danessa Myricks Neon Cream. The yellow one is in the shade UFO, and the green one is in the shade Wasabi. And this is going to create a neon green liner. And I'm using this brush. I don't know if this artistry type of thin liner brush is from Michael's, the craft store, or from the Dollar Tree, a pack of brushes I got from there. The next palette I'm using is the Cara Beauty Duo palette. This is in the shade Goddess Nim, which is a nice cool tone with some neutral colors in there. But I'm going to be going for this glitter. It has like a green shift to it and some silver and stuff. And then I'm going to be using this shimmer in the Morphe 25L palette for the inner corner. But they work hand in hand because they both have like that green shift. So I'm going to start off with the glitter and apply it in that negative space. The only thing the only thing I did was wet my brush just to get it to stick. You don't need a glitter glue unless you want to prevent it from transferring, but I think it transfers regardless. But to get it to stick, you really only have to wet it, because again, when it comes to these like palette glitters, they kind of have their own self-adhesive. For the inner corner highlighter, I'm just using that shimmer shade that I showed from the Morphe palette, and I'm applying it with that concealer brush that I use. This applies the inner corner highlight really well, because lately I've started to fall off from inner corner highlights because I just don't like the placement for some reason, but I think it's just the brush. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. This is the travel size one, which is pretty good. It's not good for bottom lashes, okay? It will transfer. I know there's a lot of steps to this eye look, but bear with me, okay? I'm stepping out of my comfort zone with eye look like this. Just going back in with that liner and the same Danessa Myricks products, and just creating an underline. I've never done this type of liner before, and I've really been wanting to try it. You know, where you create that graphic liner right under your wing liner. I've never done something like that. I always do graphic liners in a crease or double liners above your wing liner, but I've never done one under, and it looks so pretty. For lashes, I'm deciding on which ones I want to put on. These ones from Ioni from the Dollar Tree. I also got this new style from Ioni in a style Virgo, which of course is my zodiac, and then these other ones from the beauty supply store. So I'm going in with the first Ioni ones from the green box. These are like the wispy dramatic XL ones, and I thought that these would fit the look perfect. I just had to cut them, and then of course I'll apply, I think, one off camera and then one on camera for you guys. Before I move on to the face makeup, I'm just going to apply this Merit Beauty Oil in the shade Taupe or Taupe, just to moisturize my lips, because I was doing a lot of work there and my lips getting dry. Moving on to the face makeup, I'm going to use my favorite primer combination. This is the e.l.f. Putty Primer in this, I just keep saying style or shade all the time. That is so annoying, but I'm so used to saying it. This is the Luminous Putty Primer. You can go ahead and use the matte or poreless one, but of course I use the luminous one in combination with the Wet n Wild Hydrating Primer Serum. I love this primer serum. These products together just work so good because especially if you have dry skin, these just moisturize and hydrate your skin in one. I'm going in with the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I have mine in the shade Neutral Tan, and I'm also in this video trying to use as many of the same products as Missa used in her videos, but I don't have every product because she's in the UK, I think, and maybe from Scotland. You know, money is money, and that shipment is starting to go up in these other countries. By the way, have you guys noticed that the shipping in these other countries are going up? I love shopping with Manier Devore, but I think their shipping now is around $10 or $20, and it used to be less than that. I was like, no more. And then Pretty Little Thing, Misguided, Boohoo, they all went up on their shipping too. It's so disheartening and disappointing because living in the US, you know that the clothes out here are boring, okay? You have to order from the UK, or if you shop with Shein, I don't shop with Shein anymore, but if you order from these different countries, you know that's where you get your best stuff from. But anyway, besides me ranting because I'm just annoyed about it, I'm just going in with this Japanese 709 foundation brush. This is what I love to use to blend out my foundation, and I sprayed it with that St. Ives spray. Anytime I apply foundation, I do like to mist my face with some sort of priming mist, but I didn't do it because the primers that I used are already good enough, so I just mist the brush instead. And since I have so much foundation left, and since I don't apply any on my little two head anymore up there, I just need to drag it down, and so I don't get a rash under there, I do spray a little bit of something or put a primer under there, because that's the reason why my neck used to always break out really bad, is because I didn't put any primer if I dragged my foundation down. For concealer, I'm going to be using two. I don't know why, but whenever I use one of these concealers, I always have to use the other. So I'm going to start off with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium 100W. And then I'm going to go on top of that with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer with a satin finish in the shade Medium Sand. And then I'll let those sit for a while I apply my cream bronzer. So I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks Balm Contour in shade medium number 3, and then I'll apply that as cream contour bronzer on the rest of the face. I forgot to get a sponge and I got up too many times in this video, but I actually cut it out so you didn't see that. So I'm just going to blend the rest of these products out with a brush, and starting with the concealer, I'm going to blend it out with the Real Technique setting brush. Now I do like blending my concealer out with a brush, but for some reason, I don't know what it is about this ColourPop concealer, not the e.l.f. one. The e.l.f. one is fine, but the ColourPop one, I feel like that one, it has like a tacky type of finish to it where it sticks to the product too much. So it's sticking to the brush and I feel like it lifts it a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of that ColourPop concealer like I thought I was, but it does have really good coverage as long as it stays in place. To blend out the Danessa Myricks Balm Contour, I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush just to tone it down a little bit because this bronzer is very, very pigmented and the shade is just a tad bit too dark for me. To set everywhere, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. I know this is a big switch up for me from my Laura Mercier Translucent Honey Powder that I have been using non-stop since I purchased it in that one video, but I thought I had to just rotate out my makeup products. I don't want to start wasting things. But yeah, I definitely at this point should have got up and got a sponge because I think it would have set it a little bit better. For powder bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Morphe Glamour Bronze Face and Body Bronzer in a shade Trailblazer and just apply this. I think I applied way too much. I got carried away, but I'm using this e.l.f. angled brush to apply. I think it's a blush brush, but I like using it for bronzer. But I'll just apply it with this and then go ahead and clean it up a little bit off camera with the same setting brush that I use. For powder blush, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in a shade Peachy Love and just swirl my brush into all 3 of them. Typically, well, at least for the past couple of weeks that I've been applying makeup, I've been using the e.l.f. Putty Blush in a shade Bahamas, which is also an orange. I just decided to go straight in with powder since I'm just using like so many products, especially on the eyes today. Less is more. I also have the ABH Liquid Glow Highlighter in the shade Oyster, but again, we're just going to keep it moving along. I just can't keep applying all of these products. So I decided to go in with the powder highlighter instead, right in with that. And this is the ABH and Amrezy highlighter. I opted for this one because she always talks about one that's kind of like a dupe for this one she found on Amazon. And it's very, very similar. It looks just like this one, applies the same way and all of that stuff. So I decided to pull this one out, just like the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I use that as well because of how she always talks about loving that one, and it's a really good one. I just don't use it too often because again, I'm trying to rotate between all of these products. And then for the brush to apply this, I'm applying it with my favorite highlighting brush, and that's the Morphe M501 brush. My new way of kind of contouring, bronzing my nose up, I love to go in with this blending brush. This is from a Morphe set, and I'll just go in with whatever powder bronzer that I'm using at that time and just blend it in, especially back into my brow area. It just helps to really slim the nose out a lot better than any other brush can do, honestly. For eyeliner, I have 2. One is in the shade LA Colors, well, the brand LA Colors, in the shade Eclipsed, which is that light green one right there, and then the LA Girl Neon Eyeliner Shockwave in a shade Gotcha. I decided to go in with the LA Colors one because the LA Colors one, for some reason, is a lot smoother. It's a lot smoother of a green compared to the LA Girl. That LA Girl one is drying for some reason, and the other LA Girl neon eyeliners that I tried are a little bit more creamy. But yeah, the LA Colors one is cheaper. I think it was around like $1 at the Dollar Tree, even though I think they are sister brands. I'm just going to tap a little bit back into that black shade, not too much because I don't want to do too much on the lower lash line because I have so much going on the lid, crease, all of that stuff. So I'm just going to tap a little using that small brush and then tap the rest off on the back of my hand just to blend out a little bit. This will define the lower lash line without doing too much, but because I don't blend it down all the way, I just keep it by the lash line. And then that second deeper green shade that I used, I'm just going to take what's ever left on the brush from that shade and just blend it right on top of that black. I'm not adding any more, and this will just help bring some of that green down to the lower lash line too. For lips, I'm going in with the KKW Beauty Lip Liner in the shade Nude 2, and starting off with that one because it's a nice softer lip liner. For lipstick, I have 3 different ones to show you guys because she loves using the Melt Cosmetics one in the shade Golden, and this right here is a perfect dupe for that. This is the About Face liquid lipstick in the shade Nudish Judas. It has a nice yellow undertone. This is the new Juvia's Place Nubian Earth collection lipstick in the shade Nile, and then this last one is also Juvia's Place lipstick in the shade, as many times as I use this, how could I forget? In the shade Lady. So like I said, I'm going in with, oh, I don't know if I even said it, but I'm going in with the shade Nudist Judas because again, it's like a dupe for Melt Cosmetics Golden. All 3 of these lipsticks are brown lipsticks with a yellow type of beigey undertone. And since I've been watching Missa, I've always wanted to use Melt Cosmetics lipstick, but it's hard to find. You have to buy it straight from the website, and I don't feel like dealing with shipping. I think again shipping is like almost $10 for that website as well, so I found some dupes instead. And then in the center, because it was a little too dark, I didn't want it to look too full, I'm going to add Lady just to brighten it just a little bit. Coming back on, I had to let my camera charge, of course. Like, what else is new? I've been said I needed like a new battery. Like, how many years ago was that? For this camera, like not a new battery, but 2 batteries. Just added some crystals. Of course, if you've been on my channel by now, you know that. Where's my glitter palette? Oh, I didn't use a glitter palette. I used a palette that has glitter in it. I keep this Crafter Square craft storage box from the Dollar Tree, and this is where I keep all of my crystals and stuff like that. So I just reach for the green ones that I have. And these have light green, which is what I used right here, and also a pretty dark green that's in there, but that wasn't for this look. Beware, glitter does transfer, and it went all the way. Like, I mean, all the way down here. But it's still kind of cute. Like, it looks like it's going like this. Instead of just going like straight like this, it looks like it's going like down right here and then going up. I am using my black light flashlight right now, but these Denesamyrix and neon things do glow as well. I almost forgot to mention. Like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chatting.